Hello and welcome to the commentary on my Amalgam percent run for the Gens Almanac expansion for the Balatro Cryptid mod. In this run, the goal is to craft the amalgamation puppet of Cosmos as fast as possible. I'll be playing on version 0.0.8 of the mod. The deck I'll be using is the Obsidian deck with the yellow sleeve. I used the yellow sleeve here for that extra $10 at the start of the run, which definitely comes in handy. The Obsidian deck balances all consumable spawn rates and probabilities, as well as doubling the natural spawn rate of Omega consumables. The run might very well be faster on the deck of Equilibrium or the sleeve of Equilibrium due to a lot of endgame jokers being able to spawn naturally in the shop. But I don't really like the deck all that much due to it feeling too easy. I figured Obsidian deck was a pretty good middle ground, making the run just tricky enough to allow interesting strategies to emerge, but just easy enough to get a consistent run. The run is also played on white stake, just to it being the easiest stake. This is an unseeded run without any cheats or glitches, such as the debug console or save scumming. The run is played with unstable fast forwarding, as well as Talisman's disabled scoring animations. The run is also played with straddle intention enabled to make the run more interesting. Because straddle is enabled, this means that the second we beat the boss blind of ante 8, straddle begins increasing, causing our ante to scale faster. Another thing to note is that at any point, if you force the ante below 8 into a negative number, the straddle also begins to increase. This means that we will be playing most of the run between ante 0 and 8 to minimize straddle increasing. The main reason I do this is due to performance issues when the game starts having to calculate very high antes. So I try to maintain low straddle to keep the game from crashing, forcing me to start over. The start of the run has a few goals, the first of which is to simply make sure that we'll have enough score to safely clear any ante between 0 and 8, which is not too tricky to do in Gens Almanac. The second goal we need to reach as soon as possible is crafting Balatro's soul in order to summon Cosmos, which is a key ingredient in crafting the amalgamation. The recipe for Balatro's soul is as follows: a black hole, a white hole, a soul card, and a Sagittarius A, as well as a God's Marble. The trickiest of these to come across is the Sagittarius A, which is the Omega form of black hole. Due to it being an Omega consumable, not only does this mean it's a lot rarer to come by, it means that if we find it in a booster pack, we will not be able to reserve it even if we have the appropriate vouchers to normally do so. This means that firstly, we need to find some means of increasing our odds of finding Omega consumables. This can be done fairly reliably with the exotic joker Apollo. The second obstacle we run into is getting a Sagittarius A into our consumable tray in order to craft with. This can be accomplished by either finding it in the shop or by creating it through another consumable. The option we go with here is through another consumable, mostly due to me not wanting to rely on re-rolling the shop repeatedly, which would increase our tension and eventually our straddle. There are, to my knowledge, 3 consumables that can create a Sagittarius A. Those 3 consumables are the Fool Omega card, the Genius, and Pointer. The Fool Omega creates 2 random Omega consumables when used. While it is the easiest to find, it is drastically unreliable due to having to use a large amount just to find the one we want. The Genius creates a copy of every consumable used previously in the run, sans Omegas. Sans Omegas, Pointers, and other Geniuses. This would allow us to spawn a black hole that we had previously used earlier in the run into our consumable tray, which would spawn as an Omega card due to our odds being boosted by Apollo. While this would be quite reliable, it's a little riskier due to multiplying your current ante by 2 when you use it. The option I go with in this run is using the Pointer card, which simply allows me to spawn a card of my choice. If I spawn a black hole, it will spawn as the Omega form instead, being a Sagittarius A. I'll be using Pointers a lot during this run due to them being a reliable reliable source of cards that I want, and thanks to the ability of the Obsidian deck, I will see them spawning a lot more frequently. I'll use pointers to create any cards that I'm missing from Balatro's Soul recipe, which is usually God's Marble. And the last hurdle is that you need 1 to the E $100 to make it, which is also easily done by finding Omega Hermits, which raise our money to the power of 2 when we use it up to a max of, conveniently enough, 1 to the E $100. We will be finding these Omega Hermits with the help of Apollo as well, increasing our chances of finding them. And right now, you're going to see me looking through a whole bunch of spectral packs to try and find means of duplicating my Apollo card to increase the chances of finding a Sagittarius A. So I'm going to be using pointers to create nostalgic Google Play cards to duplicate my Apollo, increasing the chances further. And that black hole right there did not roll as Omega, unfortunately, so I am going to have to find another pointer card. Luckily I do find one. And I go again, and there is the Sagittarius A. So now all I need is the Soul card, as well as enough money. So I'm going to keep looking for those Hermits, and an additional Pointer or Soul card for the rest of the recipe. So I do pass a soul card here because at the time I did not realize I was missing a soul. However, there isn't really too much time lost, as I'm still looking for enough money. Picking up a Servant here. It is a much better form of farming spectral packs than the Favor that I was previously using. Here I am bringing my ante back down, just to make it easier for when I do find Cosmos and I'm left without any jokers, just for it to be easier for me to survive, to beat those early blinds. This will also keep my straddle from increasing when I go too far beyond, because every time I use a Servant it does increase my ante by 1. So there we go, we do have enough money now, and now we are just looking for that soul card. So there's the pointer, and we make the God's Marble for the recipe, and now I'm very quickly going to realize that I do not have the soul card. But luckily I do have that spare pointer left over. So we're just going to make a soul card real quick. And then we've got everything for the recipe. Just select it all. And then, oh yeah, one more thing, you can't craft in the middle of a booster pack. So we make the soul, and there we go. We've got Cosmos, and we are ready to start the next step of the run. After we craft the Balatro's soul and we use it, a couple things happen. So for one, you might notice our deck has reset to the default 52 card deck. Our money was brought back down to $4. All of our consumables were deleted, and all of our jokers were deleted. Our joker slots were set to 1, and we go back 1 ante. Most importantly, we have spawned Cosmos, and he needs Malice to work, which can be generated through various means. The most reliable methods include beating boss blinds and using black holes. If Cosmos gains enough Malice, it levels up, and when it levels up, it increases the chip mult operator by 1 and gives us a joker slot. Due to our joker slots being very limited, at the start we want to gain as much Malice as fast as possible to get them back. So you're going to be seeing me going through as many boss blunts as possible, trying to get as many black holes, and using other spectral cards to gain malice. Very quickly gonna abandon this moat book here, as it just being too much of a commitment. So I'm saving up these double tags, these triple tags, just so I can open as many spectral packs as possible, because what I'm trying to do is get back to the position I was in where I was comfortable and had all those pointers and means of finding those pointers, because that is the main fuel of this run. So right now I'm just spamming through shops trying to find everything I need. Picking up a few vouchers that might help. And we do find a servant, fortunately enough, so now we can immediately start opening more packs. That's really the main goal of this run, is to spend as much of the run inside of packs as possible. You want to just get a good string going, so you never have to leave the packs. That's the main goal. That's how you know you're in a good position, when you can just stay in packs for as long as possible. So we're going to take the spectacle there. We do find a pointer, so we just make another pointer, throw it in our slot. We create room for a Rye, so we don't have to worry about Joker slots anymore. We get Saint, or no, we don't get Saint. We get Pop Hovland, Pop, and Revere. This will allow us to see more cards in booster packs, as well as reserve and use as many as we want. A very crucial part of the run. We always want to get as many as possible. We're going to keep that gateway for now. We don't really need to bother with the reverse gateways, the Yawa tags. As while Wondrous Jokers are cool, they're not really useful or needed. The only one that might be well, there's two that could be useful, which is PO3, which can create pointers when you use code cards. However, I found it to be a little bit slow, as you can usually find pointers pretty fast otherwise. And the other one would be the gaming chair, which gives you a flat, unmodifiable 60% chance to win a blind as soon as you go into it, which would kind of speed up climbing these blinds. But I have found it to be quite buggy, especially with animations disabled, and it can very often clog up the run or just completely crash it. So I will not be using it. In older runs, I used to think that having multiple Popovlin Reveres would increase the chance of finding the sigil in the icon packs. From what I can tell, it does not. It is just a flat chance that the pack will contain it. So in earlier runs, I would try to farm as many of them as possible, and I would spend a lot more time just farming them, wasting valuable time. So right now I'm just going through more packs, just as many packs as possible. And right now, what we're looking for is the Saint, which will allow us to start spamming gateways. So we're looking for either the Soul card or a Pointer card. So there's the Soul. We do get a Chicote, which we will save for later, and we also do get the Saint, which this will allow us to start farming gateways, to start spamming gateways, because we're going to need a couple exotic jokers to create the Amalgam. Those are Lambert, Leshy, Hackett, Calamar, Shamura, and Narender. We're going to need all 6 of those exotic jokers. Luckily, we did just get one there. We got Hackett. But we will not get that lucky. We are going to need to look through a couple a couple gateways until we find the exotics we want. So right now we're just looking for as many gateways as possible and means of getting as many gateways as possible. So we do have a pointer. We're going to use them to create a nostalgic Google Play card, which we are going to use on Pop and Revere, just so we get more options. We get to look at more cards in these booster packs for a better chance at finding gateways. A small investment for the future of the run. So we get another pointer. We're going to start making... We got a God's Marble there. Just get that out of the way. And we've also... We're going to start making gateways. So we're going to have to look through a couple of these until we start finding the ones we want. Luckily, we do have Witness Agare to duplicate some of these, just so we don't have to look for as many. And we did get Narinder and Leshy there, so we are halfway there with the exotic jokers we need. We just need to look through a couple more gateways. So we get another pointer, just make some more gateways. We're going to keep that one. Very helpful with the 50% chance to duplicate our consumables. It's definitely going to be useful. Bring the ante back down, because we're not ready to start climbing up just yet. Some more gateways. And there's Lambert. Just need 2 more. Calamar. Just 1 more. Oh, no. That's all 6. Sorry, I miscounted. So now what we're going to do is look for... We're going to start pointer farming. Specifically so we can get as many God's Marbles as possible. But before we do that, we do need to find Apollo again. Specifically because we are going to need 1 to the E 100 money again. Or dollars, or whatever. For the recipe to create the amalgam. So we do find Apollo there. We're just going to tuck that over there, and we're going to sell all these exotic jokers, mostly to help performance, just make sure the game stays stable, it doesn't crash. Keep Gemini, because I plan on getting a booster joker to increase the amount of booster packs we see, and I'm going to boost that with Gemini. So we can see even more packs, because that's one of the few jokers in this whole run that make use of that. So now we're going to make another Nostalgic Google Play card. And we're going to make more Apollos to better increase the chance of our Omegas. So we got another Hermit. We're going to start using all these Hermits that we see. We're going to use this Ankh Omega. and essentially guarantee our chance of Omega cards now. Now the main thing, now we're looking for the pointers. So, from my experience, what we need about somewhere around 9, 10, 11 pointers in this portion of the run. So we're going to start duplicating those booster jokers for the future. But yeah, we need 7 pointers just for enough God's Marbles for all the fusions we need. But because the God's Marble is unique, you can only have one of them at a time. So we need to save as many pointers as we can for the crafting, because we need to craft them one at a time. So right now we're going to start just saving up the pointers, just saving them to our tray as soon as we find them. And we can do this thanks to the showman that we created just earlier. We can now start hoarding them. Again, making more booster jokers. And there's the last hermit we need. We do have enough money now. More booster jokers. More pointers. Actually got 2 in the same pack this time. And with that, I believe that's all of the pointers we need, so we're just going to spam through the rest of these. And we are officially in the end game. So we're going to start making all the God's Marbles we need. Begin crafting the upgraded versions of all of the exotic jokers we have. We're going to need to upgrade all 6 of them, so we got a pointer for each God's Marble we need, plus some additional ones for later in the run. So we're just going to finish crafting these. And we just need 1 more for the final recipe. And now it's time to start the next part of the run, which is finding Jen's sigil. Now, Jen's sigil is one of the 2 Omega Transcendent Jokers in the game, the other which is the Amalgamation. The only way of acquiring Jen's sigil, naturally, is through opening icon packs. Icon packs have a unique quirk which states that every time you open an icon pack, it has a 1% chance of containing a Jen's sigil, if you possess Cosmos. There are a few important things to note when it comes to icon packs. Icon packs can only be found once per ante. If a second icon pack is opened in the same ante as the first one, it will contain only rot. If an icon pack is opened in an ante that is less than the highest ante an icon pack was opened on, it will only contain rot. Every time you open an icon pack, the odds of finding Jen's sigil increase by 0.02%. This increase in odds will only happen if you open an icon pack that does not contain rot. Now, given these guidelines, that means in order to maximize our chances of finding Jen's sigil, we need to find an icon pack as soon as possible, open it, and then skip straight to the boss in order to increase the ante, and then we repeat until we find the sigil. In order to make this easier, I use 2 additional jokers that I spawned with pointers. The first one you might have just seen is Kitty Printer. I found it pretty funny that I found a way to make Kitty Printer actually useful in this run. Kitty Printer converts all future skip tags into cat tags. Cat tags are essentially useless, but the reason why I do this is to skip over having to open any booster packs or selling any jokers created by other skip tags. And the second joker I make is Pickle Cat, which doubles the time it takes for straddle to increase, allowing us to climb antes for longer due to not having to worry about an increasing straddle that may start to cause performance issues. So as soon as we have everything set up, we just start spamming shops until we find the Gen Sigil. You can see my game already starting to slow down. Occasional lag spikes. And again, this part of the run is usually the bottleneck. Because it is the most inconsistent part of the run. So most of the time of the runs that I do on this, is usually, this part is usually just spamming through packs, just looking for the Gen Sigil. Luckily, in this run, spoiler alert, I do find it, and I do find it quite quickly. A lot quicker than most of my other runs. I actually find this on my, if I did my math correct, my 11th icon pack of the run. Or close to it, at least. And I should also say that I am using keybinds from the Handy mod to quickly play through these blinds. I'm gonna make a retcon here just in case I see a blind that I don't like, which shouldn't matter too much because of the jokers I have, but you never know with Jen's Almanac. I think it's specifically due to the Grief boss blind, which if you disable it, it destroys all jokers, including Eternals, which would be very scary, and I would love to have insurance just in case. So I am using a few hotkeys that I have bound to my mouse, specifically just to immediately close the cache out and to immediately end the round, which just all around helps me play through these a little faster. And in this pack right here, I do find the Gen Sigil. And so, as fast as I can, click all the ingredients. There's the God's Marble, all the rest of them. And we can't forget Cosmos. And time stops when we fuse the Amalgam. And there we go. In 29 minutes, 11 seconds, and 60 milliseconds. And I want to thank you for watching this live commentary on the run, and I wish you luck if you choose to attempt this run yourself. Alright.